Well, hello again, and welcome back for another special episode of Holding History. Just as a means of introduction to page 4 of the continuing series on the Dansco 7070 United States typeset, I just wanted to show you the reverses of a few of the coins that you saw on the episode for page 3. But at any rate, getting into page 4 here in just a moment, it's the favorite of most folks who collect type coins and have one of these albums. Because it is, as part-time preppers put it in a comment on my previous video, where the heavy hitters live. The big silver coins on page 4. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into page 4, and we'll start off with the continuing half-dollar series. Let's see. Alright, this is my entry for the Walking Liberty, an iconic design in American coin history. Certainly, this is a fairly nice example. As you see, a 39, probably pretty close to uncirculated, a little bit of dark toning going on in the left fields and around the date. Just a gorgeous coin, and the design, of course, still being minted in the form of the American Silver Eagle bullion coins. So there's my Walking Liberty. Next we have a proof 1957 Franklin Half. That I've had since I was a kid. Pulled it out of a set that was in the original cello, and I cut it apart myself, so I know it is authentic, and it is a proof issue, a little cloudy, and certainly not a cameo, but still a nice proof. A very interesting Kennedy here. I bought this one some years ago off of eBay, and it was slabbed, I believe it was NGC Proof 68. And it's not a cameo, it's a partial cameo, but the hair is still kind of shiny. It's not the accented proof. But as you see, some very interesting toning. This is not a photography trick. There's some really nice blue toning happening since I broke it out of that slab and placed it in this album. It gets deeper as you kind of come down in this area. Just some really brilliant, I guess you'd say, cobalt blue toning. So we'll leave this one in the album for, an undetermined amount of years going forward, and just kind of see this, watch this toning develop and see what happens. It's going to be an interesting coin, and it already is to me. And then just a generic clad proof 71. Nothing special to talk about here, so we'll go ahead and move on. Another look at that 64 proof, very interesting. Alright, commemorative coins. I opted for a few classics and one modern. Of course, you've got to have the first year Columbian Exposition half-dollar. This, I believe, was in 1893. These were minted for 1892, 1893. Alright, one of my personal favorites in the series, the Pilgrim Half-Dollar. I may have to cut in a shot of the reverse. If you haven't seen the reverse of this coin, just a very high relief rendition of the Mayflower. Just a beautiful coin in my opinion. Here's the Pilgrim, presumably holding the Bible. So just a really nice condition. This one's probably borderline uncirculated, and it could even go 62, 63, who knows. Alright, a rather tougher to find coin. It's not one of the more common ones like your Washington Carvers and the different ones that are readily available. This is an Alabama half-dollar. Strange mintage on this one. The centennial of the state was actually celebrated in 1919, but they were a little bit late to the party getting these coins issued. And interestingly enough, it was the first time the living person was ever featured on a design of a coin at the time that they were still alive. So there's Governor Kilby Governor Kilby in the front, and he was still alive at the time of this coin's issue. So just a little bit of a controversy there. It was not a real popular thing to happen at the time, but it did happen. So there you go. Very nice eagle on the reverse. I'd like to show that at some point as well. And then many of us have one of these, the Washington 250th anniversary of birth, and really the reawakening of the commemorative silver half series back in 1982 after about a 30-year gap between the last issuance of the Washington Carver half. Alright, back now down into the big heavy hitters, as part-time preppers call it. I'm a little worried about this coin. I have been for some time. This is purported to be an 1843 seated Liberty silver dollar. The coloring is not very good. The ping test, it tests as silver. I just have my doubts as to its authenticity. It was not slabbed when I purchased it. The deal was a little too good to be true. Some of the strike is just a little off. I've never had it thoroughly tested. I'd like to send it off to CCT, and I'm sure he could diagnose it fairly quickly for me. But as for now, it's a placeholder. Questionable authenticity. Does have some wear, but it could just be an old replica and one that was done in silver. So, for now we're gonna let this continue on as an authentic 1843 seated Liberty dollar. It fills my hole, looks okay. So there you go. Now this one probably is authentic. No worries about this one. Some good honest wear on this 1870 with motto reverse design. And as pointed out, there actually, in some albums, there is a with arrows variety that is included. This album does not. It's only a with motto and the earlier no motto issues. So there's only 2 for this album. Moving on to the trade dollar. I know. Don't give me a hard time about the hole. As if you've followed any of this series so far, you know there are a couple of coins with issues in this album. And this is one, of course, trade dollars very highly counterfeited, very frequently counterfeited. So one that shows some honest wear and has some damage is more appealing to me than one that was possibly in excellent condition, but I have to worry, much like I do about the 43 over here, I would have to worry about the authenticity. Don't really have to worry about this one all that much. And what makes it a little more special than just a regular 1876 is this one happens to be a Carson City issue. So in this condition, without the holing, you're looking at probably a $400, maybe $500 coin. Haven't valued it lately, but without the hole, it's definitely in the mid 3 digits, if you want to call it that. So there's the trade dollar for you. Moving on down, not my nicest Morgan, but it's a nice hole filler for this album. Here's an 1880. I believe it's an 1880S. I'll have to check and get back with you, but just a lot of contact marks on this one. Lots of original luster. As you can see, a really bright, a really blast white coin, but just a lot of contact marks. I don't know, you Morgan aficionados could probably grade this one fairly quickly. I would say probably a 62, maybe a 63 on a really good day, but 61, 62 is probably what I'm thinking about. Moving on, a first year, which for you Peace Dollar folks out there is a little bit of a tougher issue. They were higher relief, and of course shared that year as far as production with the 1921 Morgans, which if you watch my Morgan Stack video, they're not a very popular coin with me. But at any rate, the 21 piece first year issue, this one's in lower grade, but of course since it was not such a commonly minted coin as the 22s, 23s, this is worth a lot more than, say, even an uncirculated 22-23. So, and first years are always good for albums. It just looks nice. It's pleasing to the eye. All right, and one last one. Won't spend much time on this one at all. Just a kind of an impaired proof 71 Eisenhower, just to have an Eisenhower in the album. So nothing major to see there. But there you go. Page 4. Some pretty nice coins on here. I'm pretty proud of page 4, especially the commemorative series. I'd like to maybe get one other really nice classic commemorative and just go ahead and put the George Washington back in the box and have 4 nice classic commemoratives there. Texas one would be nice. There's a couple of other ones I've had my eye on for a while, but at any rate, that's what's on page 4 right now. And take one last look at that 64 with the blue toning. I'm just really into that one tonight for some reason. So there you are. All right, page 4. Thanks for taking a look. And I certainly, as always, appreciate your viewership. Hope you come back for page 5, which is not very interesting for those of you who know, but I do have a page 6. That's kind of a project in the works I'd like to share with you. It's not the gold page, but something just a little different. So stick around for the next episode, which will probably be page 5 and then my custom page 6, and then we'll wrap up the series at that point. Thanks. See you again soon.